soon enough.
I think that question was my bias showing through. Like, I have this idea that, like, man, they put you in there, you come out broke and hopeless, and then you can't get a job and this and that. And it's only some of that is accurate, I guess.
If you're broke going in, you're going to be broke coming out.
But like, wouldn't it be cool if that didn't have to be? Like, if you earn more than 8 cents an hour and you could have a little nest egg coming out and land on your feet.
8 cents an hour. That is crazy. Like, that's just slavery.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It's about $20 a month.
Oh my God!
How do they justify the fact that they're paying you 8 cents an hour? Like, why even pay you at that point?
I'd rather have nothing, more dignity.
Well, whenever they abolish slavery, what the part they always read the first sentence. They never read the second sentence of that amendment. The second part is, except in the case of punishment.
Does it say that?
Yeah. So it's literal slavery. They force you to get a job, and they'll punish you if you don't work it.
But you weren't there long enough to get jobs.
There was some kind of mess up in the system, and I didn't get medically cleared until I had a week left to go. And then they assigned me a job on the day before my release, and at about 2 p.m. And I almost was like, so what do I need? Who do I report to? What work do I do? But then I was like, don't say a word, walk away. Yeah. And I just walked right back to my bunk, opened up fucking another Stephen King novel and burnt the day away. And so I never worked a minute.
In terms of making 2 months go by, do you think that not having a job was kind of cool and like making life easy, or kind of sucked because it made days long?
It's a mixed bag. It may have sped time up, but at the same time, it may have just been something horrible that I didn't want to do. Like, I didn't want to be outside running a pressure washer on those 105 heat index days. I didn't want to be cooking the food when I wasn't even eating the food. I didn't want to have to wear a goofy uniform or anything like that. I would have to take multiple showers then, and there was a long period of time where I was afraid I was going to get raped in the shower, so I really didn't want to have to take more than one shower a day. And I also didn't want to have to do that much laundry. I know that sounds like a stupid thing, but like, it's kind of annoying doing the laundry. Like, you have to make sure you're out there at 6 a.m. and you're getting it given to them, and you have to make sure you're there at 10:30 a.m. to get it back. Because if you sleep through that, he won't give it to you today because he's a super racist and he hates white people, and it's a whole thing.
Really?
But yeah. This white guy came in, this captain, and he was a real like no bullshit kind of guy. He's like, everybody get back here, and he's just like, I'm gonna sniff out the drug dealers and I'm gonna clean up this camp. We're gonna start with pressure washing and scraping paint, and everybody's just like at attention, like scared to death of this guy. And the boss before him had been a black lady. And everybody would just be like, what do you need us to do? Yeah, we'll get right on that. Bitch. And so when this guy like leaves, like the laundry guy is like, I'd have to use the N-word a lot to explain what he said, but he's like, y'all.
Brothers, I use.
Y'all brothers. Martin Luther King would roll over his grave. Y'all brothers up in here. That white man come in. Everybody's, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. White Man. What you needs me to do, sir? Y'all ignorant brothers.
That's so fucking funny.
It's funnier with brother, I think.
I'm 2 cells away from him, and I'm just like, I shouldn't be here.
So what was the job? What was the job they gave you?
I was an orderly, basically a janitor. Sweep up, mop a little bit. I was so happy I never had to be on bathroom cleanup duty because the bathrooms were so filthy by the end of each day. In the morning, 8 a.m., they're immaculate. It's like a Chick-fil-A bathroom. They are holier than thou. They are nice. All right, sparkling.
My pleasure.
By 8 p.m., it smells of shit and tobacco in there, and they have really. I'll never forget the day somebody shat on the toilet seat, and like the head orderly is like, "What ignorant brother has done shit on the toilet seat?" And somebody goes, "Which one? What the fuck difference does it make which toilet this ignorant motherfucking brother has done shit on? I like to use 2."
Dude, it sounds like Prison is full of hilarious people.
It does, doesn't it? I just feel like they got sort of a knack for stand-up comedy, you know? Like,
a lot of this stuff wasn't funny at the time. It was very serious.
Like the guy whose towel was stolen. Like
that was funny.
Yeah,
that was funny. That was.
Were there any other just full-on funny, not scary moments, or was it I'm sure just the aura around you of being in prison makes everything scary.
I don't know.
Are you gonna keep any of these lifelong friends?
No, fuck no. I don't even think I'm technically allowed to speak with them.
No,
I don't think I'm allowed to consort with felons.
So I was never in the military, but my understanding is part of what boot camp is they put people in a common horrible situation and they bond to each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just look like this is fucked up, man. Yeah, this is fucked up, but while you hate the man, you love each other. That didn't happen in prison.
I mean, I like some of those guys, but I never want to fucking see them again.
No, because I want Snow for the show.
I mean, it's probably.
I don't think it's
really
legal for
nostalgic.
Snow to be on. Look, I will ask my probation officer that question in particular, but and if it is at all possible, he would absolutely come on the show. He absolutely would.
Can you imagine Woody before the show being like, "Snow, your audio sucks. Get it together, man." And he's just like an angry.
Yo, Mr. Gamertag, I did a little Googling.
That's a meme.
Read a few articles about you. Oh, I don't know what a meme is, Mr. Pedophile.
That's a meme. It's just a meme.
That's the sound a man makes when you spike him in the lung. Yeah, it's. I don't think. Yeah, I'll ask him if that's even a potential possibility. But he may get out in April, but his hopes weren't high because they told him that he was a former gang member and therefore a threat to society.
Now, Chomo, his plans for post-prison, do they include going back with the family? And
No, he said he was going to hang up his gloves, which I guess meant retire from crime and go spend some time with his many children and his wife that he's been with since he was 13 years old.
As you do?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he had his first kid when he was, I think you said 13 and a half.
13 and a
last
half.
week.
Jesus Christ,
Now,
dude, that kid was cool.
he
Yeah,
was
he's like
so much
Fucking
cooler than
at
me.
12 3/4.
Yeah, he's
No,
like 48.
impregnating at 12 3/4.
Yeah,
He was-
strong, virile young sperm.
Yeah, he was like 48, and he said that his son was, I think, like 2 years older than me. I think that math checks
His
out.
son was 35 and he's 48. They could be like colleagues.
Uh-huh.
like they go out to the bar together, and it's just like, oh, your brother's here. It's like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
13-year-old
son.
Woody used to think about how I would seduce a woman, and part of my pitch was like, I'm pretty infertile, I'm sure. Like I barely hit puberty. Come on, baby, roll with me.
That's my son. And that 21-year-old is my grandson.
Yeah, did you say he had grandkids?
Yeah,
How old was his son when he had a kid?
I don't know.
We don't
That
know
I
that,
don't
yeah.
know.
That's
He
nuts.
had a crazy scenario. Maybe you could look it up and like sort of. Oh, that might tell people. It doesn't matter. His nephew got shot in the head by a cop while I was there on the outside, like in Texas somewhere. Like apparently he was like, the kid has some sort of mental issues or something like that. Snow isn't very eloquent, so he couldn't really explain these things to me very well. But he wasn't all there, and the kid is like walking on the sidewalk with a stick, according to Snow. Who knows? And police got in some sort of confrontation with a cop. The cop shot him like 3 times and once in the head.
You know what city it happened in?
No.
No.
If I knew that would probably
Cop
get the job
shooting
done, but I
someone. This
don't.
should be easy to narrow down.
And
That doesn't happen
and it
You
was
shot a
real
person
sad-
of color, Taylor. That'll now
that'll
you know.
really
all
narrow
news
it.
stories.
And it was like a real sad situation because like the nephew's mother had a stroke, and so she's all fucked up, like living with Snow's wife, and so Snow's wife's like working graveyard shift, taking care of her sister, and not telling the sister that the sister's son is in the hospital, like dying, and they're charging the son with aggravated assault. I'm like, you should probably tell him to get a lawyer. He's like, nah. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you probably do need that attorney.
Yeah, you really need an attorney there, Snow. It sounds like the cop may have done something wrong in that situation. They try to blame it on the person that got shot, and it sounds like he's not able to speak for himself since he's got a bullet in his head. So maybe get a lawyer.
What was
Yeah.
what was the funnest part of prison?
That's a good question.
The reading, the chili.
Sleeping.
Was there never a point where you, while in prison, said to yourself, well, this isn't that bad. Like, not. I mean, I'm sure you said this isn't that bad, but like, was there ever a point where you were content?
I don't know, like right after you get out of the shower and you're all clean and you feel good, and you've brushed your teeth and maybe you're eating like the first chili of the day, and and watching TV or reading a book, like that was a pretty decent time. It was kind of quiet in there. A lot of people were at their jobs of choice, and or they were just away, and it got quiet enough that you kind of hear your own thoughts, and so maybe around then. Like if I was watching TV and I had my chili and I had a Diet Pepsi and I just had gotten out of the shower, that was about as good as things ever got, I would say.
You probably couldn't relax, right? You could just never relax.
It was just so loud. I just remember laying there trying to read my book and thinking like, I hate these brothers. I hate all these brothers. Why won't these brothers shut the fuck up?
That's like you alluded to something earlier with the shower, and that sounds to me like the most frightening scenario. Was it exactly like you envision in the movies, where it's like a bunch of naked dudes with their backs
it's
to
the
each other?
opposite. It's the opposite of that. It's showers are very private. I'll go through it kind of quickly because I did it last week. But you walk up to a shower curtain and you yell shower, and the people who are already in there, they call back and they tell you which shower heads are free and occupied. 1, 2, and 3, and you're like, all right, I'm going in 3. 3 was the good one, and so you walk down this lane, and each shower head comes out from the wall, and there's a block wall that's about, on me it came up to like no, it was pretty tall. I mean, I could see.
It's like a gym shower.
Yeah, there's block walls separating you, and you've got like maybe 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet cubed, and there's a shower curtain behind you. So it's rather private, but if they want to come get you, they'll still come get you. And somebody somebody had made a threat against me and had gotten back to me that they wanted to get with me. So I was a little worried about that. So
holy shit, a little worried.
I would be a lot worried.
Yeah, I would be going quite a few days without a shower.
Yeah,
they give you shit about that. Like you can't like the things that like one day I told him I pissed and didn't wash my hands, and Snow tells me the next day, he's like, yo, heard you didn't wash your hands. And I'm like when yesterday, right after you did it, I guess. And I'm like, fuck, I didn't even touch my dick, man. I just thought I'd get on out of there,
Wow.
They don't know. For all they know, you pissing right on your hands. They need to see you scrubbing. And I'm like, well, I'll lather up from now on, motherfucker. Jesus Christ. So I did, and the same thing about like not bathing. There were guys in there who like just gross guys who just smell and stink, and people would talk about them, and so I gotta have a shower. I don't feel human if I don't have to have a shower.
I was gonna say I can't.
Of course, you don't feel too human after a rape either, so you got to weigh the options out.
Well, were you able to did you immediately start looking for protection when you hear that threat?
I was looking for protection the moment I got there. That's how I met Snow. Yeah.
What'd you do? Did you walk around like, hey, I'm just trying not to get raped, guys? It's like who?
I just like found the larger people that were in there and made friends with them, one way or another. Like there was a big black guy that I promised him I'd give him my radio and headset when I left because I noticed his was busted, and he was the one who warned me about the rape, and he would like bring me stuff all the time because it was $100 that I had promised him essentially between the headset and the radio. And so he'd bring me a 6-pack of Diet Pepsi because he knew I drank those, or he'd bring me some flip flops, like $25 or something like that because I didn't have any flip flops, and he'd just come by all the time and just hey, you need anything? Well, no, I'm pretty good. You sure? You want some Diet Pepsis? I can get you some. Yeah, I would like some Diet Pepsis. I only have 50. And he'd go get me some because I love Diet Pepsi. I mean, that's
how'd
what
you
I'm
keep
drinking
those
now.
cold?
Yeah, that's a good question. They came in 6-packs, and it's I think they were like $2.20 a 6-pack, so fairly affordable. Yeah. But I had this really big half-gallon jug I drank out of. It was like double insulated, so like an exterior wall and an interior wall with a layer of air between, and the top like pops off, and there's like one of those plastic bendy straws that goes in, and we had an ice machine. So I would put a little ice in there, put my can of Pepsi in there, cover it up with ice the rest of the way, and then fill it up with water. And half an hour later, you have like an ice cold canned drink.
Nice.
Huh.
Nice.
That would be a
That's
nice little
smart.
treat in prison. Little
It
Diet
absolutely
Pepsi,
is.
Diet Dr. Pepper option.
No,
Is
it was
prison
not an option.
only Pepsi option, or is Coke in prison?
They rotate. They rotate. Right as I was leaving, they were rotating over to Coca-Cola. It was Pepsi. It was cherry Pepsi and Diet Pepsi, and there was Fago Cola,